we'll be talking about testing. Well, today of day 3 of Bahrain testing, that's a wrap on preseason testing overall. Now the teams will take all this data, go back within 7 days, and we will have our first race on March 18th of 2022. We'll be talking about some key points for the whole entire testing season. We'll just touch on each those teams just to give an overview of how testing went for each of the teams overall. On the last day of testing, Red Bull tops the timesheet with a 1 minute 31.72, which has been the fastest time in the entire testing season. I do believe this will definitely be much quicker come qualifying. Red Bull produced this time with a few upgrades that they brought within this last testing session here, and it definitely has made the car more stable with the new aerodynamics that they have added to the car. It seemed as if to stabilize the car with less porpoising overall with what all the other teams have been experiencing. Now, just to point out and to pinpoint some of the few upgrades that they have come with, they have sculpted their side air pods a little bit more outwards to give it a more aerodynamic shape to carry the air over the side pod. They've also changed the front wing element. They have redesigned it on each day to see what was the best airflow. So once again, they're testing each different level within the wings on the front of the car. Also at the side pod area, the lower section, they have also adjusted slightly the small barge board coming from behind the front wheel into the lower section around to the back of the car. So those were the upgrades that they brought, and they have produced the fastest time within the entire testing session. Now on the Ferrari testing session overall has been excellent. In this session, they racked up over 300 total miles of data. This program seemed very solid overall, very few delays, really no hiccups. And they had one of the quickest times in certain sessions, in the morning sessions and certain days. So they've been pretty solid overall during the testing session. They seem to have a constant pace. Ferrari didn't come with major upgrades, but they seem to have they have done some changes so that the porpoising of the car is not too bad overall. But it's still there on straight line speed, but let's see if they can add something else to the car to give it a more stable manner when it's going down the straights into the braking area. The next team, which we will talk about, is McLaren. McLaren did have a few problems overall on its own. So first of all, their major testing headaches that they've been having is their brake issue. And it don't seem like they have really made any progress in this last couple of days. So that's something to look out for to see what they can come up with quickly to hopefully have a good solid race and even into the season bring them back up into the forefront. What did make this testing session within Bahrain easy anyways also is, especially with Ricardo having tested positive COVID-19, Landa had to do the testing for 3 days, which can put a strain on a driver overall, clocking up so many laps. But give credit where credit is due, the car do seem quick through high-speed corners, but they seem to struggle through low-speed corners. So once again, we will see what McLaren can come up with within the next few days. Now, Alpine, Aston Martin, AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo, they all seem to be within the same range. They're gaps of each other, and I think that will actually be our mid-pack battle within the entire season, the way how they're going back and forth. But once again, I think all three teams are trying to see who can come out on top, but we will see as we progress on through the year. Now, the two struggling teams are so far is Williams and Haas, but we have to give Haas credit where it's due, as Schumacher posted the second fastest time today on day 3. So there seems to be some potential in the car. So let's see exactly what they can come up with, see if they can produce a contents in the midfield team that they once was, and hopefully they can be back up into the racing for points and getting back up there. And we really wish Williams could do that too, but they do struggle on some other areas, and we will see exactly what they can come up with. Albon didn't get a lot of laps in for this season, as Latifi got most of it. So we will just have to wait and see. where they fall in the pecking order come the first race. The mighty Merc team, they seem they're still having some issues with the car overall, but the major talking points about their new upgrade and their no side pod. I must applaud Merc as they are thinking outside the box for sure, willing to take big risk. According to Lewis, he sees where there's still a lot of work to be done and don't expect them to be fighting for wins on the first race. This team still has 7 days before the start of the season and they can pull out anything and they will pull out all stops to be on the top podium. The other major talking point about the Merc is that side mirror, which is mounted. So that's another talking point to see whether it's illegal or not. This definitely have caught the eyes of the other teams, and now the FIA will be fully investigating and scrutinizing to make sure that these are legal. Only time will tell before the first race, but I think Merc has come on the blocks showing to think outside the box. The no side pod and regulations, I think it's legal. I don't see why it wouldn't be, especially it's just packaging mostly. And to be honest, I think they're just struggling overall with trying to find where the airflow should go. But kudos to Mercedes, definitely, going all out and trying to make sure that, they're stepping up the game. And they seem that, they're definitely thinking outside the box, trying to always push the envelope. So, I didn't expect anything less from Mercedes. And yeah, once again, we will see if they'll be competing in the top 3 teams come in the first race. Now, this is just a quick overview of the testing sessions. As we all know, these times don't really mean much other than coming back to the first race, and we will see where we all go. I look forward to seeing the first race and to see everyone get on track. Thanks again for staying in tune. I will catch you on the next one.